Hi guys, welcome back to another interesting tutorial. Today on today's video guys, I'll be sharing with you guys on how to draft this bustier milkmaid dress. So if you're interested, just keep on watching. I already have a video on how to make this dress, but that is a flare gown. This right here I'm going to make is a fitted gown, and there's a little bit different on the drafting area. Do you get? So if you want to know the difference, just keep on watching and make sure you watch the other video so you understand what I'm saying. So if you're interested to know how I made this drafting, just keep on watching and let's get into it. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you so much for always watching. I'll see you guys. Alright guys, as you can see, I already went ahead to draft all my basic measurement. This is the basic measurement we need for today's tutorial. So here, right here, the first line is my bust point, second line my under bust point, waistline, and my allowance. Can you see I just added 1 inch for the seam allowance. So right now I'm going to come up by 2 inches and I'll make a point there. I'll use my ruler to extend this line after making these points. So guys, after extending my line, I'll just label it as my chest line. You get? So I'm going to divide my shoulder measurement by 2 on my shoulder line, then I'll mark what I have there and I'll come down. I already have exactly what I'm looking for. That is 7.5 inches my armhole depth. You get? So I'm just going to extend this line like this and I'll just make a curve using my free hand. Then after this I'm going to use my marker so it will be more visible for you all to see. So guys, after marking all these lines, I'm going to go ahead, come to my shoulder area, and I'll go in by 3 inches, then I'll come down by the same 3 inches. This is going to serve as my neck wideness and my neck depth. So I'm going to use my curve rule to make a round curve on my neckline. I want to let you know that this shoulder is not necessary, just for a guide. You get? So I'm going to label it as my shoulder. So what I'm going to do now is to divide my nipple to nipple, my bust band by 2 inches. Mine is 7 inches and divided by 2 is 3.5 inches. So I'm going to mark the 3.5 inches from my bust point. Then I'll use my ruler to extend the line. As you see me doing like this, just take a good look at what I'm doing and you'll understand everything step by step method. So guys, after doing this, I'm going to come inside on the waist area. I'm going to go out by half of an inch on the both sides. Go out by half of an inch. Then I'll use my ruler to connect it like this. This is my dart line. Can you see? It's for my dart, so take note. Alright guys, so after doing this, I'll come to my bust point. I'll just come down on my bust point line. I'll come down by 1 inch like this. I'll just mark it like that. Then I'll bring my curve rule to connect it from my under bust. You're going to see what I'll do. So just place your curve rule from your under bust line, make a curve to meet the place you made a 1 inch mark. Can you see what I'm doing? Just end it there at the 1 inch mark. I'll use my ruler, my marker to make it visible for you all to see. So guys, this is it. As you can see, I used my curve rule to make a curve to meet the place I marked 1 inches. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. So right here on this other side of my under bust line, I'm going to mark 3.5 inches for my nipple to nipple area. So on this bust line, this chest line, so I just mark my bust measurement by 4. I made a point then I'll use my ruler. Just look at what I'm doing from the chest line where I marked my bust measurement. From there I'm going to make a curve to meet this line, so I'll use my marker to extend it. Just make a curve. You get 3.5 inches your bust point, 3.5 inches your nipple to nipple point, half of your nipple to nipple point, then just make a curve. Can you see what I just did? If you don't understand what I'm saying, just take a look at what I'm doing. So from the chest line I came up by half of an inch. Can you see? So after making a point there and marking it to this extent, I'll come to the center front of my pattern drafting. From there I'll make it. If you have a curve rule for this, just use a curve rule. If you have a free hand, make a curve. Can you see what I just did? Can you see? So this is the difference between the pattern drafting I made on my last video and this one. You know, I told you guys that I added a little bit different, so this is the difference right here, and you're going to see a lot different more. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is that I'm marking my measurement, my body measurement. So I just marked my body measurement right now without adding any allowance. So where I added allowance is at the waistline. I added 1 inch for this dart that I already removed. I added it back. So right here I just added another 1.5 inches. This here is going to serve as our main allowance. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying, because I'm trying very hard to to explain it for you all to understand. Just look at what I'm doing, you're going to understand it very well. So after doing this, I'm just going to cut it off. Just take a good look at how I'm cutting it off so that you're not going to make mistakes. Right here I placed another pattern paper. I used my pin to hold it, so I left half inch space on the pattern paper, and this is for my back pattern. You get, so after pinning it down like this, I'm going to use my marker to trace it out. Do you get? So it's always very good and very advisable for you to use your front pattern to cut out your back pattern, leaving 1 inch for your zip allowance. If you don't want your zip allowance, if you want loops, is fine. You can do whatever you want. So this is how I'm doing it. Right now I'm just marking my zipper allowance, then I will just remove my pin. So right here on this neckline of my back pattern, you are going to decide on any neckline you want. If you want it deep, high, the same line, anyhow, just make a curve, or you leave it straight like that, anyhow you want. And I'm going to label this as my zipper area. Do you get? So I'm going to use my scissors and cut it off like this. So this is my pattern drafting, the front pattern drafting. I place it on my back pattern just to make a point of the dart I removed. You get? So another simple way to achieve this dart is for you to just mark your half of your nipple to nipple point and just mark it there and make a straight line, then come outside by half of an inch at the both sides, zoom it in like this. That is another simple way. So guys, this is my front pattern. Right now I will just go ahead and cut off the scope. So guys, after cutting this cup, I'm going to open the center front, the center of the cup. You will see what I'm going to do. I'll use my scissors right now to open the center. This is going to serve as our center of our cup. Do you get? So I'm going to remove one of my paper cup. Then right now is slash and spread method time. We are going to do slash and spread. So this paper right here, this extra one is for our slash and spread. But before that, I'm going to just keep it aside, and I'll start marking my numbers for the slash and spread. Then I'm coming in by 1 inch. Mark 1 inch all through. You can mark 2 inches. You can mark 1.5 inches depending what you want. For me, I'm marking 1 inches all through, and this 1 inch is about 7 lines. So I'm just going to mark it like this using my marker to mark it from the place I made the 1 inch. I'll just mark all of them like this. So after marking all of them like this, I'm going to label it. I'll label it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till 7 inches. Sorry, to 7 numbers. Alright, so I'm going to cut it off right now. Can you see what I'm doing? For those that don't understand or know what is slash and spread method, this is the example of slash and spread method. This is how it's being done, slashing and spreading it. I'm going to spread it later. You get? Yes, I have kept this aside. Then I'm going to bring the pepper for the extra pepper for spreading. So I'm going to use this one to spread. So what I'm going to do right now, I will just be placing the first and second pepper. You get? I've placed first pepper, and I gave a gap of 1 inches. You can give gap of 1.5 inches. You get? So this is the spreading. The other, when we were cutting the cup, is slash. You get? Now is spreading. That is slash and spread method. Do you understand what I'm saying? So right here, I'm just going to place the last number, that is 7 inches. Then I'm going to cut off the remaining excess, and I'll use my marker to trace out those lines. Can you see the lines for our cup? So after tracing it out like this, I'm going to cut it off. Then after cutting it off, I'll be using this one right here as our main cup for this tutorial. Can you see? So after doing that, I'm going to remove all my pins. Then this is our cup. Let me label it as cup. Can you see? So right here, I have done all the necessary part of this drafting. So in our next class, I'm going to show you guys on how to sew and cut on your actual fabric. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.